Hi Internet, UltraMoth here, and welcome to my first video on the TCG channel. I like video games, I like card games, and I like memes, for those of you who don't know me. And we're doing a deck profile for the Digimon TCG. At my locals yesterday, they held the first event for them of BT21, which includes the new starter decks, which is what I was playing. I was playing the adventure deck. So yeah, even though BT21 doesn't come out till this coming Friday at the time of recording, they got boxes early and they just allowed it to be legal for those who wanted to play the format. So yeah, this is the adventure deck I was running at the event. I got 5th place out of, I believe, 28 players. The fact that I did so well is kind of silly considering it's basically just 2 starter decks mushed together, but we're here for it. So yeah, let's just go over the deck, shall we? Also, link to the music in the description as usual for those of you who come from my video game channel. But yeah, let's go. We're gonna go over the Digi first, then the Tamers, then the one option. I don't know why it organizes it in this way. Drazel. Oh, this is Drazel, by the way. Let me full screen this. Yeah, this is Drazel, Project Drazel. I'll also link them in the description below. It's a manual simulator. So yeah, be sure to check that out if you want to get into the Digimon TCG at all. But yeah, first things first, we'll go over the Digis. We'll go over our eggs first, actually. Where's my other egg? God damn it, I knew I fucked up somehow. Alright, BT21, right? No, ST21, sorry. Video's already scuffed, no. Yeah, okay, there we go. Now we're good. Save changes, thank you. Deck updated, cool. Alright, so for the eggs, we're running 4 of the Sunomon from ST21. We're running 1 Koromon from ST20. Sunomon's the better egg, because on deletion as an inherit, you return any Digimon with adventure trait from trash to hand. This lets you recycle your aces, this lets you recycle your searchers, this lets you recycle your level 4s, which you don't play too many of, and if you need a specific level 5, it lets you recycle those as well. So, egg good. Egg just really good. We run the 1 Koromon. The 1000 DP sometimes comes up, I guess, but I'm thinking of cutting it because, I don't know, I just prefer having 4 eggs and the consistency of getting Sunomon all the time. But yeah, I might cut the Koromon in the future, but we'll see. 4 Beelzemon, cards essential. On play, reveal top 3. Add 1 Digi with adventure and any tamer or option with adventure as well. Bottom deck everything else. Card good. Card really good. Especially because you can reduce costs with it with the tamers. We'll get into that later. But yeah, card very good. Searcher's just good in general, and the fact that it takes 2 things is insane. 2 Agus, 2 Gabus. These are your warpers into their respective aces. You can warp if you have, if your opponent has a Digimon with 10,000 or more DP, or if you have 3 colors in your tamers. So if you have like any one of these and like this tie, or any 2 that are different, any 2 other tamers that don't have matching colors, you could just warp into your ace if you need to. Or, you know, you could also play them in other decks that use Wargray and Gabu, but we're focusing on this deck for now. But yeah, these are alright. The Agu reboot of Inherit works really well with the tie that gives blocker, and the Gabu Inherit is just more draw, which is always nice. It does put stuff in trash, which is a little annoying. You don't really want to trash stuff in this deck, but Gabu's alright, as an inheritable. Alright, and then our last rookie is Palmon. On play, trash adventure trait, draw 2. Again, you don't really want to be trashing stuff. I mean, it's alright with the Skullgray getting it back, and but typically you want to be hard playing your BOs and like digivolving like the Pal in the back, mostly for the all turns 1000. But if you have to play Palmon, you can. Like, I don't know what else to play in this deck. I might honestly cut like 1 Abu, 1 Gabu for Palmon, just because I was having issues seeing what I needed. So I might just run more draw in this deck. But yeah, now we'll move on to the level 4s. First one, the 2 that matter are Togemon and Beelzemon, right? They just, if you have 3 colors on board in turns with Tamers, you can just warp into your 5 for free, either on play or 1 Digi, which is insane. It lets you basically go into anything here for free as long as you have the proper Tamers. And the Togemon Inherit gives all turns 1000, Beelzemon gives your turn plus 2000. The DP doesn't really ever come up that much because you're usually alliancing, but it's alright. Anjumon. is the last level 4. You play 2 of him. When digivolving, if you have 1 or fewer tamers, play a tamer for free, as long as it's an adventure tamer. I play this over the Kabuteri because I like the inherit better, the one attacking minus 2000, because it lets you manipulate the DP in such a way where Wargrey, because Wargrey deletes lowest DP, it lets you manipulate the DP in such a way where you can like delete something small off this first, and then pop something bigger with the Wargrey, for example. Or if two things, like if there's, it comes up a lot in Royal Knights where like if they have the Omekamon and the Magnamon out, you can minus 2k the Magnamon to make it 5k equal to the Omeka, and because they're both lowest DP, you get to choose. So you can Wargrey pop the Magna, so that way you don't really have to trigger the Omeka and put it into security unless they block. We'll get into the Royal Knights later when I talk about my matchups that I had yesterday. But yeah, those are my level 4s. I would play more Togemon and Beelzemon if I could, but you're not allowed to, and that makes me sad. Alright, level 5s. 4 Zudomon. We're skipping a Zudomon. Zudomon's insane. 4 of easily. From 1 Digimon, you trash 1 source for every 2 colors you have. So 1 tamer gets you 1 source strip. 2 tamers, as long as they're all different colors, gets you 2 source strips. And when you have all 4 tamers, you get 3 source strips. So that's pretty good. And then it also bounces anything with 1 or fewer sources. So even if you like go into it and you have no tamers out, you can still bounce something, which is really, really good. And then it has the effect that all of the adventure level 5s have, which is, yeah, there we go. Can I lock you here? Yes. Which is when other Digimon are played or Digivolve, if any of them have adventure trait, it gives any one Digimon alliance, and then it allows any one Digimon to immediately swing. So what you can do is you can like Digivolve into this, and then if you hard play something else, you can give itself alliance, and then alliance with the thing you just played and swing for 2 checks, which is always nice. Every level 5 except Skullgray has this effect, so it comes up a lot. That's why I say the DP doesn't really matter off like the Koro and the Burdra and stuff, because you're usually alliancing. So DP is not really an issue for this deck. I wish they had better inheritables because of that, but it's fine. The other level 5 from the starter decks you play is the Magna Anja. Place anything 6k or lower into top security. This is really good specifically against Royal Knights because they can just put their own Mekamons into security, so you don't have to tuck them under so they don't get to tuck them under Drazel. So this is always a fun option to deal with that. I might actually bump this up to 3 just because it's really good in that matchup. Like I might cut a Zudo and bump this up to 3. I don't know yet. Deck's still in progress. Like I said, it's literally the first week of playing this deck ever in person, so card good. It does add, for every 2 colors, it also adds up to 2k DP. It adds a 2k DP boost. So if you have all 4 tamers out, it makes you put anything 12k or less into security, which is nice. It does require all 4 tamers to do that, but it's fine. Usually you have ways of getting them. Usually they just come out of security, so it's fine. You run enough of them, I think. Anjouamon is the last level 5 from the starter decks. She's really good in the sense that she lets you basically chain Digivolve. So yeah, on play when Digivolving, any other of your Digimon can Digivolve into an adventure Digi for free. So what you do is you usually just raise out, as long as you have the tamers, like as long as you have at least 2 tamers, you can raise out as a rookie, Digi into Toge or Burdra, skip into Anjouamon, and then if you have another body out, Anjouamon can, like if you have another level 3 just out on the board, Anjouamon can turn them into a Toge or Burdra, and then they can go into any other level 5 you need, or they can go into another Anjouamon, and then the previous Anjouamon goes into a 6. And then this, because you're Digivolving into Adventure, the other thing that you Digivolve into triggers her ability to give something Alliance and Swing. So, just a fun little combo you can do to get level 5s out easy, so you can have the aces ready in hand. Yeah, love her. I only play her at 2 because she doesn't do anything if you don't have somebody else on board. So that's why I only play her at 2. Also because I could only afford 1 starter deck of each at the time, and she only comes as a 2 of in the starter deck, so that's also another reason why. Yeah, if you're only buying 1 starter deck of each, you only get 2 of her. If you want to play more, you could just buy the single at this point. Single, I believe, is $4 at the moment, but if you don't want to buy like a second red starter deck, you could just buy you could just buy an extra 1 or 2 of her. But yeah, now for the BT21 level 5s. 2 Metal Gray. Same stuff as the other level 5s with the Alliance stuff. His on play 1 Digi. For every 2 colors, you do Digi 1. So you have 1 tamer, you do Digi 1 source. You have 2 tamers of completely different colors, you do Digi 2. You have all 4 tamers out, you do Digi 3. So really good. Really good card. I just love D-Digi as a mechanic. I just love using D-Digi. I hate being D-Digi, but I love using it because there's very few things that have protection from D-Digi. So, good card. Only play it 2 because Royal Knights are everywhere and they don't care about D-Digi often. So I only played it 2, but you could bump it up to 3, depending on your local meta. Skullgray, very good card. On play when Digi gives any Digimon raid retal. So that's pretty cool. It doesn't have to be itself, I'm realizing now, which I fucked up a few times in locals, but it's fine. But it's fine, yeah. It gives raid retail. Comboed with the tie that gives blocker. The fact that it lasts until the end of your opponent's turn is really good, because if you don't end up killing like you could give raid retail to a level 3 that you don't plan on using for Alliance, and then just block with it and then kill whatever's swinging. And also the on deletion is very, very good. You can play any adventure card. So that's Tamers and Digimon, because options don't have a play cost, they have a use cost. So you can play any Tamer or Digi that costs 4 or less, which is basically everything level 4 or below, and all your Tamers, including the Secret Rare tie, because that's a 4 cost. So you can play them from trash for free. This does trigger the Burjo Togeon plays as long as you have the proper amount of Tamers, which lets you go into another level 5. And it also gives the same effect as an inherited. So Skullgray just really fucking good for recycling shit. If deck space wasn't so tight, I might play him at more. But because deck space is super tight in this deck, I'm only playing him at 2 right now. And now to the aces. I played 2 Wargray, 2 Metal. I just played 2 of each. Somewhat because they only come as 2 ofs in the starter deck, I believe. No, I think they come as 4 ofs. I don't remember. Regardless, I'm only playing 2 of each. Wargray, you should probably, like, I don't know, it's a tough deck to build because there's so many options. I only put 2 of each because, I don't know, I just like even numbers. But yeah, Wargray, Blast Digi as usual with every ace. On play, when Digi, for every 2 colors in your Tamers, you give 1 Digimon immunity to Digimon effects. So if you like Digivolve into, and it's until the end of your opponent's turn. So if you hard Digivolve into this on your turn, and you have all 6 Tamers, you can give any 3 of your Digimon immunity to Digimon effects, which is insane. The when Digivolving and when attacking is delete lowest DP, and that is not once per turn. So you can Digivolve into it, blow something up, and then if they have something else and you have the ability to swing, which you usually do, you can also just swing and blow up the other thing. So yeah, Wargray, very good. Melga also very good though. Let's see, Melga is Blast as usual with every ace. On play when Digi, bottom deck a level 4 or lower. For every 2 colors, you bottom deck a extra level. So you have to have all 6 Tamers out to bottom deck a level 7, but you only need 2 Tamers out to bottom deck a 6 or lower, which is insane. It came up a lot in the purple hybrid matches I played. It was super funny because I kept bottom decking their guys and they could never get their on deletions. And the fact that you can recycle either ace that you want with the Sunomon is really, really good. Because Sunomon adds any adventure trait, which includes the aces. So if they end up being trash in security or whatever, Sunomon can just get them back, no problem. Or if they get deleted on their own, Sunomon can just get them back and it's fine. So yeah, highly recommend running both. Ratios are dependent on you, but I like the 2-2 split. Yeah, and then we go into our Tamers. I run 2 of every starter deck Tamer. You don't want to see them, because you really only need 1 of each. So you don't want to see them super often, but you want to see them often enough, if that makes sense. So I only run 2 of each, just in case they get like trashed or whatever. They're also good trash fodder for like Gabu Pal if you have like the tie out and you don't need the other tie, so you can trash it. And then if they get deleted by any rare Tamer deletion effects, Skullgray can get them back, so it's fine. But yeah, Matt and TK gives Rush. This is probably the best one. So I would, if you wanted to bump any of them up, it would probably be this one, because giving every level 5 or higher you have Rush is insane. Ty is also another candidate for being buffed up to more than 2 copies, because giving everything blocker is also really good. So highly recommend that as well. But yeah, and then the Sora, Kari, and the Joe Mimi just give you a memory if you control an adventure. So they're alright. they help gain you memory, which is fine. But they're not like as insane as Matt and Ty. And then our last tamer is the secret rare Ty. You cannot see the text because this is the alt art version. I do use alt art versions in my deck profiles because this is the only way I can afford them, which is free. But yeah, Ty is your memory setter. 2 or less, set it to 3. Your turn, if any Digimon attacks, by the way, so you can suspend him to draw 1. So good draw engine. And then main once per turn. You can basically bottom deck himself to play any adventurer or hero. It says 2 or less, but it adds 1 cost for every color. So by himself, you can just tag out into a 3 cost. So you can Ty on turn 1, right? Past turn. Second turn, memory set to 3. If you promote something from raising, you can swing with it, draw 1. And then after you trigger the draw 1, Ty can then tag himself out for like another tamer or another level 3. Or if you have enough, if you have enough colors in other tamers, you can tag out for a 4, a 5. I believe the most you can do is, because you can have 7 colors total, so the most you can tag out for is a 9 cost, which everything is lower than. So if you have like all 4 of your tamers plus a Ty, you can just tag out into an ace for free, which is hilarious to me actually. That never came up for me, but it's super funny that you can do it. I play him at 3 because, I played him at 3 rather, because I liked him as a draw engine, and I like the memory setting, because this deck does have memory issues if your opponent doesn't give you a lot of memory. Like the Mimi and Sora like fix it a little bit, but Ty is obviously the main fixer. I did recently decide after the tournament to cut him down to 2 rather. I'm cutting him down to 2 because I want to play the Blitz Omni from BT5 from set 5, where the blitz comes up every once in a while where you just don't have that last check for security. So I think it's a cool card to play as a tech because both your level 6s are blue and red, so. You could play the BT5 Omni, which I'm going to try out tomorrow. I'm not playing at locals tomorrow. I'm just playing friendlies. I'm not playing in tournament tomorrow, rather. I'm just playing in friendlies. But yeah, 3 ties is fine. But two is an option. You could also play 4 if you really need the memory setting. Card good, and it's not a very expensive secret rare. Like the alt arts are pretty pricey, but like the regular card itself is like 15 to 20 bucks. So depending on how much you can afford and how much you want to play, it's one of the more affordable secret rares, and it's the only one in the deck. So considering it's also a deck made of basically 2 starter decks and like 2 bulk cards here, Ty being expensive, it cancels out. It's fine. All right. And then finally, the option. The only option I play is Courage United. I'm considering bumping it up to 4 because it is that good. It's 3 cost Pot of Greed, and it's protection. So, well, not protection, but it's replacement. So yeah, main draw 2 and the condition of having a sorry, the voices and the music caught me off. But yeah, while you have a Digimon Tamer with Adventure on the field, you can ignore color requirements, right? So this means because the breeding area is still counted as part of the field, you don't even have to push out of raising to activate this. You can just have if you don't have a rookie, you can just activate this just having the egg, because the eggs are both Adventure trait. So definitely recommend playing this at least. Yeah, like the other options are okay from the starter decks, but this is easily the best one because you can play with ignoring this, and then you can also draw 2, so it helps you find your pieces. And also, if you have a level 5 or higher on board, and it's any level 5 or higher, so you could technically use this in any deck, but yeah, any level 5 or higher would leave the battle area, and that includes being tucked under a tamer, being put in security, being bottom decked, being returned to hand. Doesn't matter if it's leaving the battle area, right? It lets you play any level 5 or lower adventure from hand for free. So that is literally everybody except your aces. So you could get a free BO search, you could get a free Palmon draw, you could get a free Beelzemon or Togemon evolution if you have the color tamers, or you could just hard play your level 5s, get their effects if you don't have any tamers, and then set up for the ace that's probably still in your hand. So yeah, card is just insane. It comes up extremely often. Love it. One of my favorite cards in the deck, if not my favorite card in the deck. I'm considering bumping it up to 4. The problem is I don't know what to cut because deck space is super tight, but highly recommend playing it at least at 2. Like, if you can't find the space for it, make the space for it. It's really that good in my opinion. But yeah, let me go into my matchups. Let me pull up the Twitter post I made about the tournament. 'cause I don't remember the matchups off the top of my head. Yeah. So round 1, I did go against Beelz. The bottom decking of their stuff makes it funny. Like if you bottom deck their level 6 with Melga, it's super funny to bottom deck their Beelz, because then they just can't go into it. But other than that, it's just kind of an easy matchup against Beelz. Like Beelz isn't super powerful at the moment. So it's kind of an easy matchup as long as you see your Tamers. That is the one thing with this deck. Every matchup's kind of good as long as you see your Tamers in the proper amounts. That's the main thing. But yeah, round 2 was against Purple Hybrid, which is recently nerfed from the most recent ban list. I will say my opponent did misplay both games because they were misplaying their Gallant Rusher, where they could blow something up. The first time they misplayed was I just had the Metal Gray Ace out, and Metal Gray Ace is bigger than its low DP deletion, but smaller than its high DP deletion, because I did not have any buffs that were all turns. So he definitely misplayed the first game, and then second game was he misplayed again with the Ace, trying to blow up my 13k. I think my again, it was a War Gray Ace. I believe it was buffed from Toge and or Koromon, and possibly Palmon as well, where it was bigger than 13k. But because I had a BO on board, the BO was deleted first, and because he passed turn, he couldn't swing to delete the War Gray Ace on the second effect activation. So that's he definitely misplayed there, but Purple Hybrid's funny because you can against Purple Hybrid it's funny because you can just Melga Ace bottom deck their guys, and they get no on deletions. They don't get to blow up your shit. They don't get the security check. Like Melga Ace kill. Like if you're fighting a lot of Purple Hybrid at your locals or whatever tournaments you go to, highly recommend bumping up Melga Ace. Card is super funny. Round 3 was Royal Knights. They won it 2-0. I don't know if I said the records. Against round 1 against Beelzemon, I got it 2-0. Against round 2 against Purple Hybrid, I got it 2-0 as well. Round 3 against Royal Knights, I lost 0-2. First game, I just saw no Tamers for like the first 4 or 5 turns. And that is a problem with this deck. If you don't see your Tamers, you cannot do anything. So that's definitely a big weakness of this deck. BO helps, but because you don't like if she doesn't see the Tamer, she just searches one thing and it doesn't feel good. But yeah, not great if you don't see your Tamers. And then game 2 against Royal Knights, round 3, I overextended. Instead of just swinging with one ace when I had a ton of memory, I went into a second ace to try and do more shit, and I just got blown up by the Omeka into Omni X. So yeah, it sucked. But that was my fault for overextending, I can admit that. I should have just done the play I had originally intended, but I was like, nah, let me be fancy, and that fucked me up. Round 4 was against Purple Hybrid again. I got it 2-1. I don't remember the game that I lost, I'll be honest. I think they just rushed me down before I could see any pieces. But the games I won, again, were basically on the back of Melga and them having bad draws. Like, the second game I won was definitely them having bad draws, but the first game was all Melga, baby. Melga kills Purple Hybrid, which is funny because it's a purple card itself, but Melga Ace is just super good at bottom decking shit. It's so funny. Because all their hybrids are level 4s for Purple Hybrid specifically, because all their guys are level 4s, you don't even need to have Tamers out to Melga Ace them. It's super funny. But yes, very good card. Again, if your locals is full of Purple Hybrid players, Melga Ace is better than War Gray in that case. But yeah. And then round 5 was a draw. They won game 1. They just rushed me down. I couldn't see anything. Game 2 was funny against the Royal Knight player. I won that game 2, and I won that game off the back of not drawing a single rookie all game. I don't know how it happened, but I did not see any of these assholes all game for game 2, and I still ended up winning. That is the only thing I remember. I guess they just didn't draw well against. It was a Royal Knight player, I believe I said, but I guess they didn't draw well. That's all I can think of. But yes, very, very, very good game on my part, I believe. Just because I saw my Tamers, I saw my 4s to warp into my 5s, but I did not see a single level 3, which is wild to me because I play a lot of those. So, and then the last game we drew, because we just went into overtime, and then we bypassed overtime, and we were still playing, and we're like, let's just call it a draw, because it was kind of a stalemate. They had like no security, but I let them get into Omni X. But I still had 4 security, so that game could have gone on a little bit longer. I don't know. It's possible I could have won it if we had more time, but again, we just ended up drawing to time, so I'm not gonna say I definitely won, but you know, there's always the possibility depending on what I drew and such. But yeah, that's the deck profile, and that's the tournament rundown of the tournament I went to yesterday. Um, highly recommend playing Adventure. Like if you're new to the game, it's really a cheap deck. It's 2 starter decks plus some bulk plus like 3 secret rares, 2 if you don't want to run 3. Like it's not an expensive deck at all. Assuming you can find product at a reasonable price. Excuse me. But yeah, that's it for today's video. Thank you everybody so much for watching. I will bring updates on the deck as I keep playing it in events and stuff, as in local tournaments and stuff. I obviously don't do regionals or anything high level, so, you know, take my opinions with a grain of salt and such, but I have been playing Digimon since BT4, so I think I know what I'm talking about. I would hope I do. But yes, very good, very fun deck at least. It may not be like super meta or anything, but the fact that I was able to get 5th place at a 28-person tournament with basically just 2 starter decks and some help from this, I think it's a good deck just to jump into the game with. So yeah, highly recommend. But that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you everybody so much for watching, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye!